is your path to be. We're all here just for all the fun. Now you're jamming, jamming hard, yeah. Hype it up all once again. Jam it, hype it up. Now you're jamming, jamming hard, yeah. Hype it up all once again. Jam it, hype it up.
Hey there everyone, and surprisingly, welcome back to Castology, the show hosted by yours truly, where I look into obscure things and other stuff I like, either to try and give a new perspective or to bring more awareness to it. Alright, so you saw episode 1, you saw the intro, and you're probably wondering what this show is, which makes sense because despite having appeared twice on the show, I've never really talked about it. Well, that's what we're here for today. In line with the tagline of Castology, we're going to be talking about a show from my childhood that is pretty unknown outside of France. The cartoon I'm talking about? Space Goofs. So, Space Goofs, or alternatively, Home to Rent, as I've never heard anyone call it that, is a French animated comedy series created by Jean-Yves Rimbaud and produced by Gaumont Multimédia for season 1 and then Xilam for season 2. The show had two different runs, season 1 running from 1997 to 1998, and the revival, season 2, running from 2005 to 2006. It aired on a variety of networks across the world, mainly on France 3 and Gulli in France, Channel 4 and Nicktoons UK in, well, the UK, ProSieben in Germany, Teletoon in Canada, and Fox Kids in the US. Despite how low-key it stayed in other countries, it was pretty big in France, even getting an adventure game developed by Xilam for the PC and the Dreamcast called Stupid Invaders in 2000.
Don't pee on the floor, use the Commodore. La 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 la.
The show's about these 5 aliens named Ethno, Candy, Bud, and Gorgeous. Oh, and Stereo, yeah, I keep forgetting about him. See? He's called Stereo because he has 2 heads! And their spaceship crashes into an asteroid and they fall on planet Earth. As with literally every cartoon that has an alien in it, if the humans found out that they were aliens, people would freak out and they'd get captured and experimented on. So they take refuge in a house that's up for rent, hence the original English name and the signpost on the opening credits, Home to Rent. So their goal is to fix their ship and get back home, but in the meantime they have to chase the humans who try to settle in the house. They have a machine called the SMTV which lets them change their appearance into whatever they want, which is usually used to help with the plot. The show basically runs on the villain of the week formula, where every episode a new character or group of characters enter the house, but they kind of go off the formula for a lot of season 2, like the episode where they build a ship and go back to the planet, just to find out that several of the people who they kicked out were all there and wanted to kick their ass, so they literally just went back to Earth. Or even the internet episode where Bud gets addicted to the internet. Wow, they were so ahead of their time here. They also had like 2 episodes in season 2 where Stereo appeared with a completely different voice in French. Kinda like every other character actually. Season 2 of Space Goofs has so many changes, like the voice actors, the animation style, hell, even the color palette is different compared to season 1, which was way more grounded and desaturated, while season 2 is a lot more saturated and hyperactive. Feels almost like a different show, which makes sense considering season 1 and 2 weren't directed by the same guy. The staff generally changed a lot between the 1997 and 2005 versions of the show. The few things that remain were the show's soundtrack, overall structure, and producer. I guess a good comparison would be Dexter's Laboratory and the Powerpuff Girls, both shows which ran for a few years in the 90s then had a sudden shift in direction, with either a revival or a movie in the 2000s. The quality decline for PPG was slow but not too noticeable, but Dexter had basically become an entirely different show. The art direction even completely changed, but I won't get into that too much here. We're not here for that, we're here for Space Goofs. Although I'd be glad to make a video on Dexter's revival if there's interest for it. The show is pretty damn good and it's a shame it just had to end like that. I always wonder why they randomly brought the show back after nearly 10 years off the air. But, considering 2005 was around the time the movie had started production, I believe they revived the show to get more interest in the movie they were going to release. Speaking of that movie, it was going to be directed by the staff of season 2. Same people, same voices and all. In fact, the animation was very faithful to the show's new art direction and it was pretty good and snappy for a movie from 2005. Well, despite the model quality that looks pretty wonky. It was allegedly set to release in the second quarter of 2009, which sounds good, but you may now ask, why did it get cancelled? Well, there's one definitive answer, and one less clear answer. The less clear answer is, of course, The show ended in May of 2006 and did not get picked up for a third season. So Zealand was probably not interested in continuing a movie based on the show. The more definitive and obvious answer is that one of the studios who worked on the movie was Action Synthèse, a French animation studio founded in 1993, who is infamously known for The Magic Roundabout, or better known as fucking Dougal! You know, the 2006 masterpiece by Butch Hartman. Now, that's not relevant, I just thought it was funny. Action Synthèse went under in 2013, effectively crushing the movie's chances at getting produced. I mean, they could have looked for another studio, but I guess they weren't really interested anymore at that point. The show's legacy is pretty great, as I said before. With the game being made and the movie being planned, the show left an influence on a lot of people in France. I even remember a weird-ass channel from a few years ago which did political videos, and had Bud as his avatar for his videos until he started using his face. It's like our national treasure. Not the channel, I mean the show. I think this guy was like one of those SJW own type, you know, aged pretty poorly. What makes this even more of a tragedy is that a show that was made literally right after by the exact same creator, same studio, Augie and the Cockroaches, ended up running consistently for longer. Literally running from 1997 to this day, with more seasons being made right now. Like 8 fucking seasons, a movie, and a shitty preschool spin-off. But I guess it's easier to make a show that has no voice actors and just slapstick for 25 years. Trust me, I'm not bitter. It's the way that things have been for a while, so you know, I can't really complain. With the main creative heads of Space Goofs being, well, dead, I doubt there could be even a worthy revival now. I don't think I even trust Zealand with making a revival of the show, especially considering the animation would be worse and the writing would also probably be worse. It'd be a terrible idea. So I guess let's just appreciate what we have of this franchise and be glad it ended when it did and didn't become a zombie show. Cause in my heart, it will always prevail over Augie and the Cockroaches. The theme song for the show is called Monster Man by Iggy Pop. It's awesome, please listen to it. I don't know how they got such a big name to do the theme, but I'm thankful.
Now you know.
And then the monsters are coming, they're coming into your house. And I want all you little French kids out there, and all you English kids, and you German kids, and you Spanish and Italian kids, to pick up your monsters and get them all together. We like monsters.